Incoming message.
It was the dawn of the third age of mankind. Groovy.
Hi-ho. This is me, Kermit the Frog.
Hello there.
Oopsie.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Not a great plan.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
Let's see what's out there. Engage.
Different roads, same old spark. Talking track till the street lights spark. We're real sci-fi guys riding warp speed away. Smacking DT cannon, lighting up the airwaves. Blasters of books, we geek to the core. Laughing through the lore on those sci-fi guys.
Hey there, we're those Sci-Fi guys, and this is at Those Sci-Fi Guys show. Just two working dudes, different lives, different jobs, but a whole lot of love for science fiction and the fun that comes with. We are your hosts. I am P.S. McKay, where it's colder than the public reception of the Starfleet Academy preview.
And I'm DT Cabman. And all I can say is I just got my 2 front row tickets to the next Chet McKenzie concert. Woo!
I need to see if that we can actually do another song with that voice. I can probably continue down that thread to see if I can. I'll see what I can do. Maybe we can have him sing an ode about Star Trek and something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, man, we're here. The holidays are quickly advancing. Things are slowly coming to a close. My son has begun his finals program. His finals tests for the semester. My daughter's play just wrapped up to thunderous applause. So very good production, and we actually were able to buy a Blu-ray. So that's on our memories now. So very glad that she got to experience that. I've never seen her so happy. So
that's excellent.
It's fun to have the theater bug every now and then and see it in your children, and you just know what they're going through, and it's just you're so happy for that. So yeah, how you doing, DT?
I'm doing all right. Had an experience this weekend. Another bucket list item that the family and I have had a chance to check off over the last year or so.
And that would be
Christmas, the Boston Pops.
Yeah, buddy. I got to experience them when they were in Providence, and that was awesome. They're on an unparalleled experience. How was it?
Fantastic. I mean, this is the third time since we've been back. This is the third time we've gone. And this is the first time I've gone without a sci-fi theme to it.
Yeah.
But there was a abridged reading of A Christmas Carol and a reading of The Night Before Christmas. It was quite nice. We had good seats. We really had a wonderful night. Going to Symphony Hall, listening to one of the most famous, symphonies in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's the Pops, and that's a little bit different than the full Boston Symphony Orchestra, but they were backed by the Tanglewood Choir. Again, something else fairly famous, Tanglewood.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the summer home of the Boston Pops, by the way. But the Christmas show is one of their things they're most famous for. Their rendition of Sleigh Ride may be the definitive version of Sleigh Ride ever recorded. Oh. And Sleigh Ride is actually was debuted in Boston.
I did not know that.
The original song, yes.
Okay.
And of course, at the end, Santa comes out, waves to the crowd. This particular concert is I'm not saying any of these aren't family friendly, but there were more kids in this crowd than in some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not cheap, but it is lovely. I mean, they literally have a gingerbread house, a full-size gingerbread symphony hall.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So you and the family got to have a good experience that weekend, and
Yes, and of course, getting a chance to go see my kid, continue with her sports, swimming, of course. I've been lucky to be able to go to a few of her meets, and since I'm taking some time off as we approach the holidays, I'm actually going to get a chance to go see a few more without
did you
having
want me to
to
share
come
this?
right from work. Yeah, you can share 'em.
All right. Let's see if I can.
There was no, astronaut or science fiction TV legend, but or a tribute to perhaps one of the, perhaps the greatest living composer.
Yeah, John.
That's Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, okay, that's true. Okay, yes, that is. Here's the gingerbread house. That's a pretty amazing gingerbread house.
And that is gingerbread and frosting. Like my kid, she's like, you can smell the frosting. It's beautiful. It's a phenomenally accurate rendition of Symphony Hall.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Which that area of Boston is really pretty because it's right near the Christian Science Conservatory.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely beautiful right there. But yeah.
And their Christmas tree.
Christmas trees. And look, if you see in the background, like all the busts and statues in Symphony
They've got
Hall
hats on.
have Santa hats or reindeer or whatever. It was really cool.
And then the stage.
Yeah. That was just before everybody got in there, but it's pretty cool. So it was very nice. And
well, I'm glad you got to experience that.
I went when I was just about my kid's age, actually. We friend of my dad's took us. It was like a big thing to do. We all dressed up. I think I was in a suit and tie, to be honest with you. 15, whatever. And we went up. We had a chance to go up to. Did you ever hear of the Top of the Hub restaurant?
No.
It was the restaurant that was at the top of the Prudential Tower. And it was at the top, and it overlooked the city of Boston. Clearly, it was not a cheap meal.
No. Is it still open?
No, they closed it. My dad's friend is pretty well off, so he was like, "You're gonna come with us, and we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go to the Pops. It's gonna be a great time," and it really was. But that was something I got to do when I was young, and it's something Mrs. Cavman has wanted to do first on the hierarchy of the bucket list was to see the Pops and then the Christmas show. So,
right.
These are good things. And that's one of those things that, it's why make the money if you can't enjoy spending it a little,
Well, that's it. I had a friend of mine say, I'm not going to live to enjoy my retirement. Are you kidding me? So I'm going to get all the payments out of, whatever dividends and stock purchases that my 401k allows me to do. I'll do that every year. And I'm like, not a bad way to think about it. That's true.
My goal is to live as long as possible because under the agreement I had with Uncle Sam is they have to pay my ass every year until I die. So I plan to live a long time,
yeah,
so that they have to
make Uncle
continue to
Sam
pay me. Yeah. That's why I go to the VA for periodic maintenance.
I hear you.
Gotta at least make sure that I'm able to enjoy it in a few years.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, and
but speaking of people who are considering retirement,
yes. So let me go to that. I gotta share the screen again. My bad. Here we go. We are here to discuss. Take it away, DT.
Red One, where J. Jonah Jameson plays Santa Claus, and Captain America and The Rock have to go rescue him from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
And no, that's not Clarissa Explains It All. Not that one.
Nope.
Melissa Joan Hart.
The classic.
Nope. The classic.
Now you get to have a sci-fi fantasy superhero action movie based around Santa Claus, and a pretty svelte and jacked looking J.K. Simmons as Saint Nick, aka Red One. The Rock being his basically the head of his Secret Service, and it's run basically like he's escorting him, like it's all very much like watching like Secret Servicemen escort the president.
Oh yeah.
And Chris Evans is a ne'er-do-well black hat hacker and tracker who finds things and people for other people. But he's kind of I would guess you would call him more of a lovable rogue.
Yeah. He's not a bad guy in this, although he did take candy from a baby. At the beginning, that is almost unforgivable. No. To be honest with you.
Chris Evans is really trying to do everything possible to not be 100% typecast as Captain America.
Well, yeah, and he got to revive his Johnny Storm persona in last year in Deadpool and Wolverine, and he definitely was not Captain America in that's for sure. So, rather than go through the entire plot line, I mean, basically that's what it is. I mean, Santa's kidnapped. The Rock plays the head elf of security, but he's not an elf, so to speak.
Elf is the acronym for his
law enforcement agency or whatever. And basically he needs to find Santa before Christmas is ruined. And he finds out that it was Chris Evans that provided the information on where Santa could be found. But Chris Evans didn't know that was Santa's whereabouts that he was selling. He was just hired
to didn't believe in it either.
No, he did not. I mean, the movie at the very beginning was very clear of him as a kid not believing in Santa and trying to ruin it for his cousins and whatnot in some form or another. Which, also tells you something. But
he's a dick.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, this movie had a very good blend of taking folkloric knowledge and kind of transferring it into a modern sci-fi / magical kind of world.
What I like about it is that you could tell that they were hoping to maybe they built a universe.
Yes. It
actually was a pretty interesting universe.
Well, it was, and they, rather than just simply focusing on Nordic lore of Santa Claus or Santa Claus,
Saint Nicholas of Myra.
Saint Nicholas, yes. They brought in all the kind of holiday folklore stuff. When there's, what was it? This government agency run by Lucy Liu that is meant to protect the magical kin of the world or something like that, or
It's MORA, the Mythological Oversight and Restoration Authority, a clandestine multilateral military organization that protects a secret peace between humans and the mythological creatures. So basically, they protect the order between the human world and the mythological world, so to speak.
Yeah.
They're
And by the
kind
way,
of like S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. By the way, I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. government actually has an organization like that, to be honest with you, nowadays. Don't throw it. Don't poo-poo it. It's very possible.
You have a Space Force.
We do have a Space Force, you know. It's very possible. And we've got a Stargate, you know, and we've got remote seeing programs and all that other fun stuff. So with 68% accuracy, by the way. So
my company services Moderna.
Okay.
One of their main campuses, research facilities, everything. We do work there.
Yeah.
And they have robot security dogs.
Nice.
Like
armed?
The Boston Scientific robot dogs.
Yeah. Are they armed?
I literally watched this shell open up, this thing pop out, and it goes on patrol.
Dude,
I was doing a campus
creepy
tour.
As hell. That's creepy as hell.
Every employee who we've had to send to do work there, I'm like, where do you see the robot dog? And they all come back, dude.
Yeah.
Saw the robot dog.
Yeah.
It is just so near sci-fi, you know, like.
I mean, yeah, we're living in the future, man.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, right? You know, it's like the first time somebody ever saw a car, right? You know, like the technology's there, it's viable. It's just not prevalent.
Humanoid robots are meant to, you know, be sold to every household for a very affordable rate, quote unquote, affordable rate.
No, I saw that on the Orville. That didn't work.
And I know. Crossed my mind too.
Because the probability of you getting a Robin Williams bicentennial type robot is infinitesimal.
Yeah. No, it just depends on how the AI is written, man. And the AI has to be written to like humanity. It has to be written to preserve humanity, because if it sees humanity as a problem, then in order to get rid of all the humanity's problems, the best way to do that would be to get rid of humanity.
Oh,
that's
great.
a perfectly logical
Skynet plus Ultron.
Yeah, it's a perfectly logical deduction that you can't have. You can't allow that to happen. Anyway, we're digressing.
Can't we just make some droids?
You'd think that would, but I mean, it's not practical to have an astromech style droid. You need to have something that can go up and down stairs.
He has rockets.
Oh, jeez. Well, you don't want an astromech using rockets around your home.
I mean, I guess. Fine.
He said begrudgingly.
I'll just take sweet armband.
Yeah.
Now, can it work on specific parts of your body? Like, I could really use the ability to shrink my midsection.
Yes. So it's funny. The magic in this is represented in a very technological sort of way, which is funny. So
what is the line from Thor? Magic is just science we don't understand yet, or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he might have said it something differently, but that's exactly it. That's what it is. And true. But it's implied it's magic. It's just portrayed in I thought it was pretty creative, right? I thought it was a fun thing. And he's got this armband. Yeah. Like a hot rod variety, right?
Yeah. They make everything about Santa cool.
They really do.
They really like Santa's. Look at his suit. He looks so badass. And he is too. You don't get a ton of them, but he's a pretty sick Santa right there.
Yeah.
And it's not like one of those, like, like the Mel Gibson or the David Harbour, like angry, violent Santas. Like he's still Saint Nicholas,
Yeah.
Santa
I mean,
Claus at heart. He just hits the gym.
Well, and he goes to the mall and he wants to meet the children and to still have that connection with them.
He pretends to be a mall Santa.
He does right here. Oh, damn it. I can't.
And that's another great scene.
Right here.
And look.
So
and that's a pretty good Santa costume, and that's not even his good one.
No, exactly.
But this is where you start to see, like, The Rock just doesn't have faith in humanity anymore.
Right.
Saint Nick still does. Santa's still like, yeah, man, I love doing this. And The Rock's like, no, man, I just can't play this game anymore.
Yeah,
it sucks.
It is one of those things, and that's The Rock's story. So there are a couple stories on this. There's two stories on here. One, it's The Rock's quest to find his faith in
it's a redemption
Christmas
story.
Again. And then, well, I don't know if that's necessarily a redemption story for him, but it's like a loss of faith, a crisis of faith story for him. A redemption story definitely for Chris Evans's character.
But in some ways, isn't it also a restoration of faith
for Chris Evans?
Yeah,
I mean they're related. They're related. I think the themes are a little bit more leaned differently, but they are absolutely related. Yes. So, and it's Chris Evans being able to realize that he needs to be a good father. His son wants him in his life. And he ran away. We're wanted to talk more about the motif and everything. So we'll talk more about the moral themes and everything a little bit later. But let's talk a little bit more about the tech and stuff. So I also really liked that armband, which gives The Rock strength. Also allows him to be able to change the reality of toys, which I thought was a neat little thing that they did. So like what children do with toys like this is they basically change their reality, and these things suddenly become real when they play with them.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes syndrome, exactly. And there were numerous scenes that we saw, and it was explicitly spelled out when The Rock takes Chris Evans to a toy store. And he says, load up, find us some transportation and
practical.
Make sure it's practical. And he's led to a shelving of a bunch of Hot Wheels cars. And in the meantime, The Rock is loading up on Rock'em Sock'em robots, a chicken keychain, Monopoly game, and a Slinky. And he goes, and Chris Evans goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Stocking up, stocking up on supplies. Be sure to get us a ride and make it practical." He grabs a sports car. And so when The Rock throws the sports car out, he shoots it with his wrist beam, and it enlarges and becomes a real car. And Chris Evans goes, "Well, how did you do that?" And he goes, "I changed its reality." That's perfect. It's perfect. That's the perfect way to explain something so crazy, because the entire idea is this is about trying to find your childhood, or it's playing off of the idea of childhood, and to find your mirth and merriment, so to speak. I thought that was very clever. That was a very, very clever aspect of this movie that was part of the world. What's something that you found to be clever or enjoyable about the world itself?
The world itself, I mean, there's almost a veil between the normal and the supernatural, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Mora, led by Lucy Liu, after Santa gets kidnapped and goes missing, Like,
That's her.
first off, you go to the North Pole, right? And you see penguins, you see polar bears, you see all sorts of penguins. Really threw me because I'm like, this is the North Pole.
It took me out of it too. I'm like, you guys got that wrong.
But then again, because Brad Paisley sang about James heading up the FBI for Santa, and I believe in Brad, so I'm good with that. Anyway,
so
it
this
was-
is a shot of the North Pole.
All right.
Anthropomorphized polar bear named what? Gus?
Garcia.
Garcia. Thank you, Gus. I was
It's even more random.
halfway there. Yeah, Garcia.
And he's got like this Brooklyn accent.
Oh.
A big hulking Brooklyn talking
Yeah,
polar bear named Garcia.
Not some kind of Inuit name. No, Garcia from Brooklyn.
Yep, exactly. It was he's really more of just an ancillary character, but anytime he pops up, he's just kind of amusing.
Yeah.
When he gives to Chris Evans the I'm watching.
Yeah. Well, they were going to use Garcia to interrogate Chris Evans when they first brought him in for questioning. And you see Garcia walking.
Naughty lister.
Yeah. And Chris Evans is like, oh, God.
He's on the list. What
Yeah.
list? The naughty list. He's mocking everything until Garcia has him in a full Nelson.
Yep.
But that's the funny thing, right? So, like, you're taking around, and I love what they do with the world. The North Pole is under this protective shield, like Wakanda, right?
Like the North Pole and the Santa Claus, you know?
Right. Again, there's some homages to other, holiday movies and whatnot, and I'm fine with that. It didn't feel at any point like a straight ripoff. Like the Christmas Chronicles have a very big North Pole world too, not as technologically advanced, a little bit more mystic and supernatural, and not quite as well. It looks like they just dropped Abu Dhabi in the center of the North Pole.
Yeah.
Ginormous tower where Santa is the residence, the workshop, but right at the foot, it's almost like that piece, the only piece of actual ground in Coruscant, the top of the mountain that's sticking up in Coruscant.
Yeah.
Where they're taking pictures and in the Mandalorian. It's the only natural part of Coruscant above the city.
Yeah. Planet's tallest.
But they have Santa's old house and workshop preserved, like, Abraham Lincoln's log cabin kind of thing, right?
Yeah. I just came across that picture. Where is it? Here it is.
And it's just something.
There it is.
It's neat, right? Like it's a tourist attraction almost.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it would be like the Apple garage if somebody had put that in display at Apple headquarters.
I'm kind of shocked that never actually happened.
Right.
That would have been pretty fun for him to just like buy that house and just have it transported to the center of Apple One campus. Like,
but it's still neat though, right? Actually, It's really kind of like the Alamo. If you've ever gone to the Alamo, and it's right in the middle of downtown San Antonio.
Yeah.
Where at the time of the battle, it was like 10 miles. It was like 5 miles to San Antonio, the village. When the city just grew up around it. And that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the world is pretty. It's fascinating. They do some neat stuff, like the fact that you can travel anywhere through a network of basically stargates or portals between supply closets of a toy store. Right?
Yeah.
It's brilliant, though.
That was fun. Yes.
They walk through one and in wherever, New York to the Caribbean and then to Norway or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start building, and this is where you start seeing, okay, if this goes well, you've got a universe to play in. Like when they bring in all the usual suspects, and
That's what I was looking
Jack,
for.
This is what convinces Jack that everything's real, and they bring in the Headless Horseman.
I'm looking for that picture. I can't find it, but yeah, they bring in the Headless Horseman.
The Horseman,
and
the
body.
Horseman.
The body is cuffed. The head, the pumpkin head, is in a case being carried separately by another person from Mora, and they brought the
horse,
the hell steed, if you will.
Yeah.
Wasn't that breathing fire?
Something like that. Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Like it looked almost like a bit of a hybrid between 99 Headless Horseman and the 2013 Headless Horseman.
Yes, it really did look like that. It looked very faithful to the 1999 Sleepy Hollow Horseman, Headless Horseman.
But a little flourish too to give. I'm sure they probably was like, oh, those were some pretty good looking horsemen, as some examples.
Yeah,
but it was good, man. I like it, and you spawn.
Got this,
and look, and that's like a super high tech containment. It's like
right.
where they carry kryptonite or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, this literally, you could almost do an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type series with this, where like they're going around the world and collecting, supernatural artifacts and keeping things,
Oh, I'm sure that it crossed their minds that this was going to happen that way.
It could.
Sure.
I mean, I feel bad. I loved this movie. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was pretty original. There was definitely, you could tell they probably had some influences, but it was a neat story, and they built a pretty fun world around it. They even got a Kroll appearance.
Not a troll.
He wasn't too over the top, Nick Kroll.
No. So he's supposed to play a very dangerous information man who basically
he's an information
peddles information on the black market. He was the one that paid Chris Evans to search for Santa, and then ultimately gave it to Gorilla, the one who ultimately was in charge of kidnapping Santa. And it came off as a pretty, intimidating figure at first. He's surrounded by all these muscle men. And then
there's some sort of like Eastern European, hitman kind of thing.
And then he goes full Nick Kroll.
Not full. I'd say he was
almost full.
85%.
He can't help himself from going Kroll in this. I mean, I'm like, oh, there's the Nick Kroll we know and love. So they're being attacked by snowmen. Gorilla sent snowmen.
Which that was pretty interesting too.
The snowmen?
Yeah.
I thought it was neat too. I thought we've seen evil snowmen before, but not like this. Like these are like evil. Well, I mean, they're evil. I mean,
they are trying to kill them.
In our dry run for this episode that we didn't record, I likened them to the putties from Power Rangers. Like they were good they were a good force to distract the good guys and fight them and everything. And they seemed like these snowmen seemed super indestructible. I mean, Chris Evans tried to melt one over a grill. Didn't The Rock cut one in half or something?
Yeah, with a lawn chair.
With a lawn chair, yeah. And like they're just, on the grill, Chris Evans is pushing it face down on the grill, and all the snowman does is just turn his eyes to the back of his head with his nose, and he just rejoints up. And
the nose does catch on fire, though.
It did catch on fire, yeah. So so you're like, oh crap, this is bad. And they turn whatever they touched with those swords those ice swords turns to ice, as you can see that it spreads and everything, and that
They even
pool
got
comes into
Nick.
play.
And he
Yeah, they
suffered
did.
from scoliosis.
Oh,
Well, it's
Take it
something he
back.
can't help it.
Take it back. I'm giving you this one chance to take it back.
No, look at that face.
Okay. Yes, they freeze him, and I thought he was dead, but apparently
No, they literally say, "Oh, I'll take." By the time they thaw him out to get more answers, it'll already be past Christmas.
It'll all be exactly.
So it's
Um,
probably because if they do have a sequel or another universe, that's to make sure that they can bring him back.
yes,
That's what that is.
yeah.
And it's not. They're not dumb. They knew what they were doing with it.
Oh yeah. So as it turns out, the Rock inadvertently finds out the Achilles heel for these snowmen is to take their nose off, their corn cob nose. Jeez Louise, their carrot noses.
Yep.
And that takes away their life force or whatever. And Chris Evans is about to be iced by one, and the Rock comes and grabs the nose and disintegrates. And nice little joke is Chris Evans is like, "What?" And the Rock is like, "All you had to do was just remove the nose." Like,
like he didn't accidentally discover that.
Right, exactly. So, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed this scene. It was fun. I
like what they did with Krampus too.
Yeah, let's bring Krampus in. I say Krampus. I'm not trying to sound. It's just my habit of saying it.
Yeah, you like to say things pretentiously. It's fine.
Yeah, pretty much. Here we are. There it is.
Played, of course, by the great Tormund Giantsbane, or maybe if you prefer, Christopher Haiju from Lord of the from Game of Thrones.
And the Scott's fertilizer commercials for your grass.
God, did he ever look like the perfect spokesman for that too? With that big red beard and that thick red mane. And for
it's Scott's protection.
Scottish accent, and I'm not Scottish, so I can't really say 100% sure, but this guy is Norwegian, and I thought he crushed the Scottish accent.
Yeah, he did a good
Didn't
job.
sound fake or over the top. Or
we say that as Americans,
right?
Because it's
right.
He used the same accent as like Hollywood uses the Irish accent, not Irish. It's Irish, like it'll be the
oh yeah. It's the long ladder.
It's that exact same thing. So. I mean, it was convincing enough for us, which is great because all you have to do is just play into, you just play into the not stereotype, but it's not stereotype. It's I'm getting caught up on it. It's the generally accepted vernacular style of that accent, which isn't necessarily real. But it's portrayed in a hyper version way.
Well, he didn't sound like either James Doohan or Mike Myers.
No, he did not. And that's all right. But he was great as Krampus.
Yeah. The world of like Krampus's world where all the demons and whatnot. And we talked about it. The practical makeup on those demons were really good.
Yeah, I'll pull that up.
Because none of them were anywhere close to even a minor character. They were really just glorified extras.
They were. But yeah,
that's a lot of money to throw at extras.
It really is. But it was nice to see such practical, well done effects, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a very CG-heavy movie, don't get me wrong, but it didn't have to be this good quality.
No, that's good. That could have been on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
The guy on the right definitely looks more like a demon. The guy on the left could have been a Star Trek villain.
Yeah.
Like it looks like, you know, discarded Jem'Hadar design.
Yeah. And yeah,
And then Chris Evans.
that's what went through my all of that just went through my head. The Rock gets into a slapping contest with Krampus because they get to Krampus's Krampusschlap. They go there because they think that he might have information on where to find Grilla. Because they now know that she was because they were romantic partners. And this is where we learn he hadn't spoken with her in centuries. But we also learn Krampus's background. So, you know, he looks like an evil dude. He lives a hard life, like a rough and tumble life, not hard in that sense, in the other sense. But he's stepbrothers with Santa or adopted.
Yes, he's his adopted brother. He's the one who created the naughty list.
He created the naughty list because he wanted to punish the children that were naughty.
Right. And Santa wasn't really on board with that. And then they had a falling out. And then he got together with Grilla, the Christmas witch, or Gryla, I think, is really the pronunciation. And she, of course, wants to punish all the guilty, all the naughty.
Mm-hmm.
And Krampus, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that Chris Evans couldn't help himself and stole some gold, they might have actually gotten more from Krampus, but he couldn't help himself.
No, he could not.
He couldn't help himself.
The first thing he was told is, don't touch anything when you're in that realm. You're mortal. And none of that stuff is meant for mortal hands. Like, I would read that as, oh, everything's an infinity stone and will kill me on an instant touch. Gotcha. Noted. Yeah. Like,
but then he has to go, wait, you aren't human? Do I look human?
Yeah.
Well, anybody who can make Chris Evans, who's not a small dude, look small.
I know. Yeah. That was
granted, he's not as bulked up as he was during all the Avenger movies. But he's not. He's over 6 feet. You know, he's not a small dude. The Rock is an enormous dude.
Yeah. And even The Rock looks small to the Krampus, who I'm sure was on stilts, but his hand was massive. Like he
palmed his hand.
He palmed his face. Yes, he did that. And it's not every day. Like as he's warming up to slap on the Rock's, like, oh God.
That was so perfect because it was also a little sotto voce. Oh God.
Yeah.
He's like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Oh,
yeah. And he gets slapped and he's thrown across the room, and Chris Evans goes, "Are you all right?" And the Rock's like, "Slap the shit out of me."
Not so much. Yep. It hurts not so much here, but here.
But right here. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see anything.
Yeah, that was some good scenes. Again, more world building. Keep talking about the treaty. The treaty says you cannot come here. Okay. There's some shit going on in this world.
Yes. Well, actually, I don't know. Whoever posted these photos had a thing for the actress that played Grilla, because like the first 50 photos of this movie on IMDb are of her.
I mean, she's not even on the poster.
No, she's not.
Which she does have a bigger part than Lucy Liu, but she doesn't have the name, I guess. She still is only, she's like 6th billing in this movie.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Well, I mean, think about the names, dude.
I know.
So,
but like Lucy, she's fifth billing, at least according to all the other stuff. She's fifth billing without having as much. She has more time probably than Lucy Liu and J.K. Simmons combined.
yeah,
Maybe, but it's interesting.
that's plausible. That's plausible.
I mean, yeah, you do have two of the biggest and most bankable stars in the movie, in Hollywood right now, headlining. Plus, maybe the most bankable character actor in Hollywood in J.K. Simmons.
True.
I literally can't turn something on without him showing up in it at some point.
He's he's striking while the iron's hot, and it's been hot for 25 years now. So,
yeah.
And he does he does farmers commercials.
Yeah, he still does commercials.
He still does commercials.
He still does
those national.
He still
spots,
does cameos.
Money.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
but he was almost the MacGuffin in Ghostbusters Afterlife. He was in it for literally like 2 minutes.
That's right. He was. That was such a wow. What a random. I mean, I forgot about that. What a random cameo. Like, did he even say anything? I don't think he even said anything. He was
like in the middle. He was just getting started with his monologue before he got offed.
Yeah. I wonder if that meant that he had a bigger part in that movie, but it just they wanted to go a different direction in post.
Maybe.
And they did some shots.
It also does. He kind of strikes me as a guy who will take these small parts if he enjoys, because he enjoys it, right? Like, yeah. He's one of those guys who's just not going to no, I've got to have the top billing kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think he's one of the good ones in Hollywood. And he loves the craft, and he loves the camaraderie too.
I mean, if you can't break in the top billing, at least be everywhere, right?
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah,
exceptionally true.
He was decent. I don't think they gave enough. One of the few downsides, for the most part, is that she would basically pop up every couple of scenes to say evil villain stuff, for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, you learn more about her through exposition than through a ton of screen time. And that's okay, because she's as much a device as just the fact that Santa's gone.
Yes. I mean, she was supposed to be a mysterious character, and admittedly not a very well-known figure in folklore, at least not nowadays. But apparently she's like one of the oldest folkloric legends.
Sure.
In Nordic countries. So that's a fun.
In Icelandic folklore, Gryla is a monstrous entity who lives in the wilderness of Iceland. As first attested to medieval sources, however, the earliest unambiguous references to her gender and association of Christmas only comes from the 17th century. So, still enough in the folklore.
Yeah, still there. So, yeah, I found that I'm a sucker for folklore stuff.
Sure.
I mean, my books reflect that too.
Yeah.
So I have a partiality. I'm either like super into it or super critical, and I am not super critical of this. Like, so that was it was refreshing, so to speak. And so we find out that we'll say Gryla. I'll try to change that. So Gryla stole Santa because she needs to use his magic. She's basically a vampire, zapping his magic to create the snow globe and duplicate it that she wants to send to all the naughty people, not just kids, but all the naughty people, to imprison them forever. Because she wants to get rid of she wants to use that naughty list the way it was meant to be used.
Yeah.
And, exactly the way Santa doesn't want it to be used, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, you can't be mad at someone for having a bad day. So
there is no wisdom with her.
No, correct. Yes. And I'm trying to find a picture of Santa imprisoned, and I'm having a difficult time.
He's in a giant snow globe strapped to a chair, having his energy drained.
Yeah. There's one around. I'm almost here. We go. Got it. Hopefully you can see this.
Yep.
So, but the thing about her having to replicate these snow globes is that The Rock even says that's impossible. She doesn't have the manufacturing ability to be able to do that. The only place that has that is the North Pole. And then they're like,
they did the bait and switch with Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
They thought, he during the break-in, he's chasing this snowcat down, and it's all misdirection. They're all remote, and they didn't realize that they just took Santa down to the basement, and now they're using
they're using it to make the millions of snow globes that needs to be sent out. And I know I'm switching between photos and whatnot, but I want to get to the photo that I really liked. That there was a scene in this that was super creepy, but it played very well. It was very Nordic horror in a sense, where he and The Rock and Chris Evans are driving through the woods, snowy woods, and they come across the piano that's playing by itself in the woods. And there's this box that you can see here, and it's for Chris Evans' character.
What's in the box?
Open the box, yeah. And even his character goes, well, this is the stuff that nightmares are made of, or something along. He makes a quip about it, right?
He's the quippy sidekick half the movie.
Yeah.
Other times he's the emotional heart of the movie, and other times he's just a dick.
Yeah. So I think here is where we need to talk about the moral relevancy before we go further into this scene.
Sure.
We talked about there are two angles here. The Rock's character story and then Chris Evans's character's story. Let's talk about Chris Evans first, because this scene leads very well into it.
O'Malley.
Jack O'Malley. I think, did he even get to use his Boston accent, or did he use a Brooklyn one?
No, I think he just had kind of a generic East Coast wise ass accent.
Yeah.
That was so disturbing.
Yeah. So, like I've said earlier, I mean, Jack O'Malley's issue is he doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't have faith in anything. He's out there to look out for number one, himself. He has a child with another woman. And they're not married. They never were married, but she got married to another person, and his son's being raised in a very loving and caring household. The stepfather's wonderful. Jack O'Malley doesn't have any ill feelings towards the stepdad in any way, shape, or form.
No.
He doesn't have faith in himself. Wait, what? Do you disagree?
No, I said also no.
Yeah. And there's this moment where he's talking to The Rock about how he doesn't want to mess up his son's life. He's got a dad, and that's okay, and it's probably going to be better than him. And The Rock is quiet about this. Like, he's just like, work it out verbally. You know, he doesn't give him any advice. He just says, your son's a good kid. And he's like, yeah, he's one of the best. When in reality, he's not that great. He's been cutting school and different things like that. He's a good kid, but he's on a bad track. The beginning of that. And his son is quietly reaching out to his dad, to Jack. There's a poignant scene in the very beginning where they're in the car together after Jack picks him up from school. And he goes,
he had gotten in trouble. He had gotten in trouble.
And his son says, yeah, there's this stupid, holiday recital that I have to play in. And he's like, you wouldn't want to go to that. And Jack goes, oh, gross. You have to do that? Oh, that's so awful. Like, yeah. And the kid's like, yeah, it's stupid.
I know. It's so dumb. So
it's so
dumb. You don't have to come.
Yeah. And that was a very well written scene because the kid he was putting it out there, but he didn't want to put it out there. And he shielded himself, from the disappointment by anticipating that his dad didn't want to come. So, but if he said, I'd like to go to that, boom, day made, right?
Right.
Didn't happen that way. And, that's a heartbreaking thing to watch. Well,
it is.
In this scene here, they've already talked about Jack's son and everything. And the snow globe is for Jack. And he's like, and then he gets a call from his son who is at the recital. And while his son's pissed, he's like, well, I wanted you to go. And Jack's like, I'm sorry. If I could, I'd be there right now. And then while he's on the phone, his son gets a package, opens it up, and it's the snow globe as well. He's like, don't touch it. Don't touch it. The kid grabs it, and then he's imprisoned. And then in that moment, Jack does what a father is supposed to do, turns to The Rock and goes, it's my son. I'm sorry. And he grabs the snow globe and gets caught up and captured in as well and gets transported to the North Pole. They don't know it's the North Pole yet. The Rock figures it out later, I think.
Yes, he does.
And then, so now they're next to each other in their own snow globe prisons and everything. And how did that conversation go?
Oh, it basically was kind of a heart to heart, and kids kind of young, like, you're not there for me, and he's like, I know, I've never been good for anybody, stuff like that, and then some real vulnerability comes out between the two of them. They kind of
apologize. There's like an act of contrition,
right? But it's also from Jack's perspective of, where he's kind of realizing I should be there for you more, and I'm sorry. It's like I thought I was doing right by staying away and not having me, but it's only basically it's like only hurting you too. So I don't want to do that. It's like I want to be better. He commits. He's earnest, and his kid kind of finally seeing that Jack is now being real and honest with him for like probably the first time. He kind of opens up too, and these two guys, this father son, kind of admitting their fears and showing real emotion is actually what breaks the spell of the snow globe, or as they call it, Glasgophese.
Yeah. This is them being looked at by Gryla. And by the way, these are prisons for people who are terminally naughty. Like, so pretty good fail-safe device for someone who is not a good person, right? They were able to break through because they, father-son thing. Good moment. It's a good scene.
It is a good scene.
Stuff you don't see in Hollywood a lot lately, which I was very appreciative of. I really liked that.
Yeah. I took my kid to see this movie, actually.
Yeah. So and that's Jack's arc, and at that point he really buys into, okay, we got to save Christmas, like we're gonna do this, and his son's with him, and they buy in, and the Rock figures out that it's in the North Pole, like we said, and there's this big battle between Gorilla and the Rock, and I mean, we don't need to do a play-by-play, but
she eventually reveals her whatever ogre form, and
right. I'll find it.
They free Santa Claus, and he's still weak, and as he's rebuilding his power, the Rock, or Callum Drift, which is his character's name, Cal, shows up, and his determination in seeing Jack kind of turn over a new leaf, and seeing and the whole drive to save Christmas is kind of rekindling his
faith
spirit
in humanity.
and his exactly. And so he's there fighting, and Santa's trying to come back, and the ginormous super reindeer that pull the sled, they're huge. They're like bigger than moose.
Yeah, I'll find those. So
they're right there on the cover there, right there in the trailer.
Oh yeah, but they're massive. Like they're like,
yeah,
I would say they're even bigger than moose.
That's what I said. They're bigger than moose.
Oh, I thought you said they're like moose. Apologies.
Yeah, they're enormous, and they're all kind of fighting back. And then Krampus comes to us to help his brother.
Yeah.
They free, and of course these Mora and the elf teams are trying to fight Gryla's minions too. She's trying to escape in the sleigh, but they get once Santa is able to recover, he defeats Gryla, and then she gets sealed in one of those snow globes. And Santa and Krampus kind of have like a bit of a mending of the fences and part in peace. Gryla, of course, is taken away by Zoe, aka Lucy Liu, and her Mora teams to go into one of them supernatural prisons. And then Santa invites Jack and his son Dylan to go help him deliver toys.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, that's just it's expected, right?
Yeah. So as this ride is going on, Jack's faith in humanity and his sense of wonder comes back. You've got, he and his son are starting to build a relationship, and that's what's helping. That kind of is the straw that breaks the camel's back. And Cal decides, I'm sticking around.
Yeah,
this is the fight is worth fighting.
Yeah.
Well,
he's seeing it again.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a poignant conversation at the very beginning between him and Santa, where Santa, he's willing to let Cal move on and do his own thing, but he never got the answer of like, why are you leaving, Cal? And he goes, just time.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually gets it out of him that, I'm not seeing the good in everyone, and I don't see Christmas as a time of joy when everyone is so selfish and arguing and fighting so much. And Santa looks at him and he goes, that means that you need to be here more than ever. That means that you need this job more than ever. And he's like, I can't do it, Santa. And Santa, good friend, confidant, is like, okay, understood. And then on that sleigh, while they're delivering presents, and Cal's looking at Jack and his son, he's got that, his heart grows 3 sizes that moment. A smile appears, and then he goes, Santa, I think I'm going to stay on. Welcome back, Cal.
Yeah.
That was a very heartfelt moment too.
And It was, right? It was a happy ending. Sure, it was cheesy, but all Christmas movies, like good Christmas movies, are supposed to have a cheesy happy ending, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about cheesy happy, but yeah, there's a lot of cheese in a lot of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this isn't Hallmark, but it's got just a thing of cheese.
just a dusting. It's a
Little
dusting.
Parmesan dusting of cheese right there.
Yeah. Agreed. But it was effective.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I loved this movie. I really did. I enjoyed it. It hit me right where I needed. It was something fairly original. It was different. It was fun. Sure, was it familiar? Kind of almost like an MCU movie at Christmas, maybe a little. But
Yeah.
they built their own world. They had some fun characters. They had a good cast. Like I said, they built a strong world. I enjoyed the plot. I thought the writing was actually solid.
It wasn't overly complicated.
No,
it was a
not
mystery.
really.
And it had a good bait and switch to it, which, even the audience, if the audience can buy it, then that means the audience is involved in the plot,
And it blows my mind. I know some of these movies like this do very well at the box office. I don't know why. I enjoyed it. I went to see it. It technically would be, I think, considered a bomb because it didn't make back its budget.
Even if it made back its budget, technically, it still would have been a bomb with the way the math works out. It didn't do well. Let me see. What are the reviews on this?
It was the number 10 most streamed movies of 2024. And it debuted in December. Just remember that.
Yeah.
So it hit big on streaming, which is wild because it came out like only a couple of days, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after it hit the theaters, which can, of course, damage its theater run when they do that so quickly. But it definitely streamed well. Rotten Tomatoes has given it a critics review of 30%. Metacritic gave it 34 out of 100. Cinema Score, the audiences gave it an A- on Cinema Score.
That's actually a very good score.
Yeah,
I want to see what some of these top critics are saying about, because I'm wondering, because here's what it had going against it, and it had 2 male leads that were good. Hollywood doesn't like male leads that are competent and well thought out anymore.
It was a rough weekend to hit, though, right? It was competing against Wicked and Gladiator, and then
Gladiator
Moana
didn't
2.
do well. Wicked did fine. Moana 2 was the one that probably took it all. I think that movie.
But it was literally biting his own hand.
Yeah. Let's see. Patrick Beatty of ABC4 Utah. Dwayne Johnson has played this same type of character for so long now in so many movies that he has become an imitation of himself. Well, that's a little harsh. Come on now.
Well, if he's doing this at 70, it becomes cool again. Just ask Harrison Ford. Just ask.
Exactly.
Just ask Clint Eastwood.
Andrew Kendall of Stay Broke News. Or Stop Broke. If Red 1 is meant to mark the beginning of the filmic Christmas season, the holidays ahead look to be more dismal than anything. Here's a positive one. Sean Edwards of Fox 4 Kansas City. I guess in the end, it sort of works. That's fucked up. That's wrong. See, here's the thing. If the critics hate it, it probably means I'm going to like it. Because the critics suck. The critics are terrible at what they do. So that being said, I thought I was gonna hate this movie, DT. I really did. I went into this going
kicking and
this
screaming.
is homework.
It took an entire year.
Well, I mean, who wants to review something like this in April? So,
but it hit streaming before Christmas last year.
Yeah, as has been demonstrated, Christmas is a busy time. And we also did a crossover with these Sci-Fi guys too. Like that took a night of recording.
I know.
But I thought I was going to hate it. I was going in like, oh, this is homework. And shockingly, like I had the family around. They all enjoyed it too. I found myself laughing. I'm like, oh, this is pretty enjoyable.
Your family watched it with you?
Yeah.
Good. It's good. It's a family movie.
Yeah. My wife was laughing at a lot of the things. I mean, it's fine. This doesn't, the thing about movies is some of them, they're not meant to reinvent the wheel here. Does it do its purpose in entertaining, giving you a laugh, and maybe having a little morality, tale with it, or experiencing a character redemption?
It's an actual Christmas movie. So there's supposed to be heart with it.
Yeah, I mean this did that. It did it. It had a lot of laughs. 5 stars. No, I'm just
5 rocks.
5
rocks.
I
give it 5 rocks.
No, I mean I enjoyed it. It's a fun watch. No. It's right on par with Christmas Chronicles on Netflix, I would say.
Which were good.
I
actually think the first one was a lot of heart in that one.
Super. Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Oliver Hudson's character
Russell.
Dying. I mean, the family's dealing with the Christmas without their father.
I mean, it just means that Kurt Russell really doesn't like him as much as he likes Kate Hudson. That's all.
Yeah.
No,
Kate Hudson wasn't in that movie, was she?
I know. I was kidding.
Oh, okay.
But wait, wasn't that also Boston?
It was. It was Boston. Yeah.
With not one Bostonian in the entire movie.
Not a single one. And not one single authentic accent.
No.
Where
But he was a Boston fireman, which was cool.
Yeah. So
and yes, I'm not going to say that there's some similarities with this and the Christmas Chronicles. Christmas Chronicles, I mean, it was big enough for Netflix that they had a sequel,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's some flavors to it, but for the most part, this is still its own thing. And it was enjoyable. It was a fun Christmas movie, right? It wasn't and I'm not knocking it, but there wasn't a sappy love story. It was kind of more of a straight up action movie, but it had heart to it, right? There was more family. There was some family. There was some crisis of faith, and I don't care what anybody says. I enjoyed this movie. I took my kid. We had a good time. It was a nice way to kill an afternoon on a weekend before Christmas. You know what? And when we initially tried to record it, it was on TV.
Yeah, I saw
streaming,
that.
On
I thought
TV.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
I had turned on the TV and it had been left
cable.
over from like watching Sunday Night Football, on NBC. And there it was. I'm like, oh, well, we're going to record this later. So might as well bone up. This is a good movie. I enjoy it. It was fun.
Yeah.
It also had been a long time since I watched something that was beeped out on TV. I don't watch movies on TV really that much.
No. Yeah.
Not that like this was loaded with vulgarity, but there was a few.
Yeah.
Just enough curse words to keep the older kids entertained.
Yeah, it's nothing my children haven't heard me say every day. So, which I really need to work on. I was chatting to my son. I'm like, I gotta stop with the cursing in front of you guys. It's very unbecoming. He's like, why? I'm like, well, that's just something I should do. Something for the new year, I think.
This is a cool movie poster too, by the way.
It's well done. Yeah, I like it a lot. Actually, let's make it bigger.
You've got The Rock, who definitely is doing his best Secret Service agent look, right?
Yeah.
Santa Claus looks straight up badass. But
and
it's
Chris Evans
like
Chris Evans.
Yeah, he definitely has the kind of lovable rogue look about him.
Yeah,
disheveled, but I'm still handsome. And,
I'm disheveled, but I'm still handsome.
Yeah,
yeah, it's true. And then Lucy Liu's there.
Yeah, always that
criminally underused. By the way, she was good. I mean, she filled her role well.
She did. But she's got that standard like Lucy Liu stone face there, right there. It's like, oh, well, okay, I've seen that in all of our other movies, but like then you've got the big hulking polar bear gear behind it. And you're like, okay, so this is really we're really going there. The gigantic reindeer, the hot rod sled, and the beautiful background of the North Pole, right? But even still, like even just Red One, how they do the logo. Nice.
Yeah.
The
nice.
outline of the Christmas tree. And look, even the belt, the star looks like it's like J.K. Simmons, like Santa Claus's belt buckle almost, right?
Yeah. It's a good,
sometimes movie posters are just meh.
This is not that. This is not generic. Yeah. Someone cared doing what they did here. So
I doubt they will, but if this movie could warrant spin-offs or sequels,
well, I mean, It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life bombed at the box office, and that's, I mean, it was kind of crammed down everyone's throats because network television didn't have much in the way of a library, so for Christmas stuff. So they aired that every year, and It's a Wonderful Life is a good movie. Dare I say sci-fi?
Fantasy.
Yeah. Science fiction, fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, opens up with a star field.
Yeah. Better move on before I start trying to do Jimmy Stewart.
you're okay. Well, I think that shall do it here. Anything else you want to add, DT?
Ratings.
Oh yeah.
What would you grade it?
Like I said, this movie served its purpose for what it was supposed to do. I'm gonna give it an A-.
Same.
I mean, it's a little derivative here and there, but I mean, it's a Christmas movie. You're gonna have derivative stuff. Sure. There are rules that you have to follow when it comes to that.
Right.
So you're already in a corner. But it was well done and enjoyable.
They also had some Santa Claus lore that they kind of had to stick to.
Yeah.
Well, they actually didn't have to, but they did, which is one of the things I liked about it, is that they actually had it and they built a world around it. Right? They made it seem plausible in this world. How Santa is still kind of supernatural. Well, is supernatural, but like people, the populace at large don't really know what's going on with the mythological and the mystical, but it's entertaining. It was fun. It was fun. And sometimes you just got to watch the damn movie and have a good time.
And a good time was had by all. So until the next time, you guys, we're those sci-fi guys. I am P.S. McKay. You guys keep working. We'll keep dreaming. No. Flip that.
Yes, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. You guys work. We'll dream.
You guys
We've been working for a while.
It's been a long time.
It's holiday vacation for us. You do the working. We'll start dreaming.
I think we got one more recording before the end of the year, so we'll see you. We'll see you and wish you all the wonderful festivities and everything the next time around. So long, everybody.
And I'm DT Calfman, and since we're in the string of a whole run of holidays right now, I will say happy holidays. Hope you enjoy. And I got milk and cookies up on the high ground.
Max got a pen that can warp the stars. DT's got stories from cavalry scars. One writes the worlds where the heroes fly, the other roll tanks under desert sky. From sandbox forts to the final frontier, two kids with dreams and a six-pack of beer. Different roads, same old spark. Talking Trek till the streetlights spark. We read those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mac and DT Cannon lighting up the airwaves. Blasters of books, we're geek to the core. Laughing through the lore on those sci-fi guys. Max spins a tale about a rogue AI. DT counters with man, I drove that guy. From doom to doom, we argue the stakes while the coffee gets cold and the pizza box breaks. Childhood pals in a grown-up fight for the best damn death scene on a Friday night. Pixels or pages, we're never done. Two working stiffs chasing alien sun. We're in those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mac and DT Cabin lighting up the airwaves. Blasters and books, we're geek to the core. Laughing through the lore on those sci-fi guys. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, yeah. No capes, no powers, just regular days. But we'll save the galaxy in our own ways. Max drafting novels in the dead of night. DT's got tank tracks, turns them into light. Together we're louder than a hyperdrive screen. Two regular dudes living the sci-fi dream. Yeah, yeah, we're with those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mac and DT Cabin lighting up the airwaves. From the sandbox to the stars, we'll never say die. Tune in, geek out, those sci-fi guys. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Next week, Blade Runners or replicants? Bring the Bourbon Rider boys, gonna get real.